Perimenopause. Something that you've sort of probably been looking forward to for quite some time. Well, that is until you hit perimenopause. It almost feels like a cruel joke being a woman sometimes. We have periods and we have pregnancy and then we have menopause. Well, perimenopause anyway. This horrible, hardly spoken about period in a woman's life when she transitions into a time where you will finally not have that horrible period and hopefully all the things that come with it. Perimenopause can start with some women from 40, but on average probably starts affecting women in their late 40s, around 48 to 50. It can take anywhere to 2 to 4 years on average to transition up to menopause, which is basically a full solid 12 months without a period. Doesn't that sound nice? I have been transitioning for a couple of years now, and it's become prevalent over the last 12 months that this is definitely happening. I just had a recent hospital scare that you can see in another video. I have been copping the hot flushes, the moodiness, the brain fog, the bad sleeping, which was not something I needed considering I already can't sleep, and the horrible, terrible forgetfulness. I don't know if it is hormones or the fact that my life is so busy at the moment, but some days I forget something 5 minutes after I've said I was going to do it. You know the old thing, you've walked into the kitchen and you don't even remember why you were there. I think today I've had the worst experience I've ever had in my life. I went to the hairdressers without my phone. Now this would not normally seem like a problem, but I particularly went there to show them photographs of the colour and style that I was after. Then, just a few hours later, I locked up the house, jumped in the car with all my shopping bags and went to the grocery store, leaving my handbag on my front porch. Now, I have never done that in my life. I don't know if it was the crazy day and the hour of craziness that I had with my family right before that happened, or if it's part of this whole entire process. I think menopause and perimenopause is something that is seriously not spoken about enough, and it is affecting tens of millions of women around the world. I watched a recent episode with a menopause doctor on Diary of the CEO, and when her opening line was, "Imagine if men's testicles are dried up at the age of 51. And I absolutely just lost it. She was basically suggesting that the whole entire defense budget would be rerouted towards men's health. And I totally believe this to be 100% true. No offense to men, but they could never put up with what a woman could put up with. I mean, come on, just have a look at the man flu, and that pretty much confirms my case. A lot of women that I've spoken to recently, and a lot of what I've been reading about in the press, is that many women are very dissatisfied with the amount of information that is out there and the amount of help that are being made available to them. Myself, when I had my recent hospital scare, I felt like the doctors didn't really know what was happening to me or why this was happening to me, if it was going to happen to me again, and what to do about it. I know a lot of women have certain symptoms and things they go to a doctor about, and it's written off as something else. No one ever looks at the fact that it's premenopause or that it is to do with hormones, and often we are sent off on other therapies and we are missing out on the care that we actually need. A 2023 FDA study actually suggested that about 85% of women do experience quite severe and serious and ongoing perimenopause symptoms. However, only about 10% of women are actually seeking assistance or getting therapies or medication to help those symptoms and that transition, which is quite frightening, which means at least 1 in 8 or 1 in 9 of us are suffering in silence, which I feel we often do because it is a bit of a taboo subject. It hasn't been a subject that people have been comfortable in talking about. However, I do feel it is starting to get a little bit more press, probably because of all of us Gen Xers out there, and we're starting to boom into the perimenopause era, and there are a lot of us, and we have learned to open our mouths and ask questions. It's quite interesting that a lot of doctors don't seem to know a lot about the symptoms or the therapies, or are trained in picking up issues and understanding that they are connected. I don't know how much study that they actually do in their training to actually focus on perimenopause. I think it is something that really needs to be addressed a lot more, and I feel like a lot of them are clueless and they don't know and they don't have answers, which makes you, when you're going through all of these changes, quite frightening and really disheartening. And even a lot of people are being misdiagnosed with other symptoms that aren't related to perimenopause. A lot of women, particularly myself, feel like that we are actually being let down by society and let down by medicine. There just doesn't seem to be the support in this period of our lives. Even though there will be hundreds of millions of women entering this stage over the next decade. We know about the hot flushes and the brain fog, but there are a lot of things that we also don't know, such as issues with your sex drive, issues with your mental health, anxiety, your skin changes, your hair thinning, hair loss, and issues with your teeth, losing bone density, being at a higher risk of heart disease and high cholesterol and high blood pressure, and being so tired some days that you can barely get out of bed. I have found that over the last 3 or 4 months, I have days where I'm just exhausted for absolutely no reason and I literally can't get out of bed. Though I have to because I have a family and I have commitments, but I honestly feel to the point of exhaustion sometimes, and nothing I do, exercise, iron tablets, extra water, meditation, anything seems to help. I think it is part of the process. I remember thinking that this was something I was going to breeze through. I never thought it was going to be something that would be so difficult. I just thought I'd get some irregular periods and eventually it would just go away. But it won't go away. It just keeps hanging around and hanging around. Your periods will start going every 21 days and then 60 days and then 30 days and then you sit there with this endless bloat and all the symptoms of a period starting and then nothing starts. And it is so uncomfortable. And it is driving me literally crazy. I just want it to go away. Like the mood swings and the weight gain, regardless of the fact if you are exercising and looking after your diet, it all just comes out of nowhere, and I seem to be struggling with it all the time, even though my diet and exercise has barely changed in 10 years. I've always been able to maintain my weight, but now I just find that I blow up for almost no reason, even though I'm actually being more strict now than I've ever been before. A lot of women are just not feeling good overall. I just find I have really swing days where sometimes I feel really good and other days I am just feeling like bleh, and I don't even know why. I wake up sometimes and I just hate my life and I hate everything that's going on and I just want to curl up in a ball and I don't even know why. But I'm guessing it is the hormones and that drop in estrogen. But overall, the positive is that I have recognized that this is now happening, so I can be aware that it's happening and try to work out ways in order to manage this. I'm going to continue talking about this on my channel and sharing my thoughts and my experiences with others. I have a video about my recent hospital video that you can check out just here, and I hope to see you over there.